Today's going to be a technological first. Technological first from Level 7, Deep Underground Military Base. I'm going to use a 2011 laptop to record the podcast and the ass-whipping computer that Bad Jesus gave me. Yep, I'll run the sound bites off of that and see if we can improve things. If this works, it's going to make my life much easier. And I'm all about making my life much easier. Let's try a little bit of Name This Tune. Well, come on now. Can you name that tune in 3 notes or less? I could. It's the theme song to McHale's Navy. Why is that pertinent to today's podcast? Well, we'll talk about that toward the end of today's podcast. I was encouraged to see how many people at the Bonnepeter Pit were not drinking the Budweiser line of products. Really, it was something to see. Formerly Anheuser-Busch, but bought out in 2008 by Belgian-Brazilian InBev companies. Go woke, go broke. I'm happy to report is alive and well in Willow City. Of course, Fat Jesus, the regional naysayer, was pontificating on the premise, in his opinion, this boycott of InBev will be eerily similar to Colin Kaepernick taking a knee. The NFL boycott. Is he right? Well, how long did that one last? Maybe 6 months until the season kicked off. True. Low IQ people love their sports amusements. So how long will this one last, the one against InBev? AB InBev, to be correct. How big will the boycott get? Time will tell, people. I do not have a crystal ball, I've told you that. Let me just say this. Boycotts aren't supposed to last for eternity. They're supposed to last until the offending company or nation boycotted changes their offending ways or policies. An interesting side note, Murray doesn't want you to know it, is that 35 U.S. states have passed anti-boycotting laws discouraging people from Bravo, Delta, Sierra. Yep, boycotting Murray's favorite Mideast country. Will 35 states pass anti-boycott Bud Light legislation? I don't know. Time will tell that one too, I guess. And this channel's favorite naughty little girl. Oh yeah, TC. She was there yesterday at the Bonnepeter Pit. Was she naughty or nice? Ask Santa Claus. I hear he keeps a list. He checks it twice. And by the way, how would I know? Besides, people, you know your secrets are safe with me. And she did bring me a pile of peanut butter cookies. Thanks, kid. Truly, there are 2 ways to a man's heart. Yes, by far the stomach's number 1, but there is another way. But we're not going to talk about that. There might be children present. Speaking of Santa Claus, it is, after all, Sunday, April 9th, 2023. It's Easter Sunday, the second largest holy day of the modern Christian churches, and they're deceived and heavily infiltrated state-funded pulpits and upper management. Catholic or Protestant, not a dime's worth of difference, trust me, people, not a dime's worth. The first century real Christians and their remnant holdouts today had nothing to do with either pagan holiday, Christmas or Easter. I won't waste your time in this podcast, people. Use a search engine and learn the true history of these very offensive to the Creator pagan holy days. They're not biblical. In fact, they are biblically condemned. Enough said. Now here's an interesting thought I had concerning subscriber number 255. Mentioned him on Thursday. Remember, lost another subscriber. Another person may not like tacos. That hung around for a while and then dropped out, leaving me 254 subs, the current number today. The one I mentioned in Thursday's podcast. Now, I'm a long way from proving this, people, and I'll admit it, but I think subscriber number 255, are you sitting down? Are you ready for this? Was none other than Tucker Carlson. I shit you not. Oh, come on, Dave. You're talking out your ass because your mouth knows better. You've gone too far this time. This one takes the cake. Yeah, and as George Carlin says, where do you take a cake? Back to the bakery shop to introduce him to the pies? There are some stupid old sayings, and not all old sayings are good. And my, how quick you guys are to judge me, and you haven't even heard. Yes, I said heard my evidence. Now, before I play a little bit of Tucker's show last night, Keep in mind, every past podcast concerning non-religious people who claim they don't do religion, but it turns out, including atheists, are in reality very religious. And keep in mind Thursday's podcast, wherein I mentioned Micah Luegi, that backward collar-wearing pastor's blasphemous sermon given in Bargon, North Dakota, St. Mark's Church, Bargon, North Dakota. Here we go. This is Tucker Carlson from Friday night.
Good evening and welcome to a special edition of Tucker Carlson Tonight. Happy Good Friday. This is the saddest, at the same time, by far the most hopeful day on the Christian calendar. There was a time not so long ago when the overwhelming majority of Americans observed Good Friday. They got up, they went to church, they talked about it at the office and at dinner that night. It was part of their culture. That's no longer true. Tonight, you wonder how many Americans even know it's Good Friday. So after hundreds of years, this has finally become a non-Christian country. But it's not a secular country. You sometimes hear people call it that, but they are wrong. There are no secular countries. Every country has a religion because every person has a religion, even if it's atheism. Everybody worships something. We're born that way. We can't get away from it. So what is America's religion now? Well, as it happens, we have video. This is from St. Mark's Lutheran Church in Fargo, North Dakota. It was taken on April 2nd. That was the first Sunday after the mass killing in Nashville, in which 3 adults and 3 children were murdered at a Christian school.
Okay, people, not that I'm going to sit back and gloat, not that I'm going to say I told you so, but come on. Any of this sound familiar? Have you heard any of this info before Tucker's Friday show? Be honest now. Is it just a mere coincidence, or, as I kind of suspect, was Tucker the mysterious subscriber number 255? Just saying, just asking for a friend. Now I'm going to leave a link below to Tucker's segment from Friday. Anyway, it looks like the weather is breaking. Looks like Raytheon and Lockheed Martin are turning the big black knob towards spring, but beware people, looks can be very deceiving. Lieutenant Commander McHale, a regular at the bottom of Peter Pitt, and his wife Aunt Betty, I ran into them yesterday as I was leaving with a belly full of Grain Belt beer. Nope, no Tall Cool Chris Millennium Budweiser for me anymore. Insists it's not a big black weather knob, but a lever. Now I just can't get him out of the past. Yes, McHale, you had a lever on PT Boat 73 that you commanded, but that was then, and this is now. Levers have been replaced with knobs called rheostats. Google it and join us, will ya, in today's century, in this century. People, it may be a holy day for some of you, but me, yeah, you know it, I got stuff to do.